Hello, welcome to the Crates Motel. My name's Conan, I am the concierge. Today, I'm releasing a new drum kit on Bandcamp. Let's jump in. So, quick history of this drum kit. Mid-90s, SP1200, recorded onto Ampex 456, and then obviously I've loaded it into my MPC. The reason why I used to store it on Ampex 456 is because it was then easier for me to transfer it into other samplers at other times, in other studios, etc. And it was actually something that a lot of people did at the time, so it wasn't out of the norm. So you've got a little bit of character from the SP1200, and you've got a bit of character from the 1/4" reel-to-reel tape. I was trying to get signed to Strictly Rhythm at the time. This is about 95, 96. Everyone was trying to get signed to Strictly Rhythm at the time. It was a big house label run by Gladys Pizarro and Mark Finkelstein out of New York. So it's got kind of a lot of influences from Masters at Work, Todd Terry, but also people like Tribe Called Quest, Jungle Brothers, De La Soul. Most of my drum kits, in fact, pretty much all of my drum kits, are a mixture of acoustic sounds that I've sampled off old funk breaks, jazz breaks, etc., mixed with drum machines. And that is the case for this drum kit as well. So I'm going to run through the sounds quickly on the MPC. It's a collection of kicks, hi-hats, snares, a couple of claps. And then we're going to make a quick house beat and a quick boom bap beat. So we'll run through the kicks first. See, these two here, you can really hear the SP1200 ring. That one you can just hear crunch. I think that's it for the kicks. Into the hi-hats, quite a lot of hi-hats on this one. So all very crunchy. And because you've got because they've been recorded onto 456, you've kind of got a bit of a roll off in the highs. Also, you don't get the highs from the SP1200 as well because it was rolled off because of the filters. So you get these nice, warm, smooth hi-hats without too much kind of glistening high end. And then into the snares. Couple of claps and a little sound effect. So you can hear the snare drums. I think all of them are sampled off old jazz funk records, breaks, etc. I have a feeling that one might be sampled off a Master at Work record or a Kenny Dope record. Pretty certain. Early 90s, when he was still really kind of making beats. He was doing some beat EPs with Todd Terry and people like that. That sounds like that sounds Kenny Dope, definitely. But the rest of them, by the sounds of it, are off old funk records, jazz breaks, etc. So as is the case with all my other drum kits on Bandcamp, I've also made an MPC project as well. So you have the WAVs in a folder, which if you don't have an MPC, you can just load them into Koala or whatever sampler that you might use. But I've also made an MPC project as well, where I've done a bunch of the heavy lifting for you. Now, each individual sound has got channel strip on there, and I have basically just done a little bit of heavy lifting for you. So I've done a little bit of EQ work, tiny little bit of compression work on some of the snare drums, and that's it basically. It's just, I'm not doing everything for you, but I've just kind of given you a starting point. With the kicks, maybe a little bit of the mud has been rolled off. With the with the hi-hats, maybe some of the low end has been rolled off. In fact, actually, all of the low end would have been rolled off on the hi-hats. Same with the snare drums as well. Just nothing mental, just maybe up to about 120 hertz. And then with the kicks, I've just added a little bit of low end for you. But, I don't want you to think that that's a finished job. You need to go in there and have a look what I've done. As you can see here, I've added a little bit of 60 hertz actually, and just rolled off absolute minimum on the kicks. With the snare drums, it's a little bit different, a little bit of compression on there as well. I'll just point something out actually. This is not related to the drum kit thing, but one thing I don't understand about these, about the modern MPCs, and something that I don't understand that Akai couldn't have done, because this just seems like such a logical thing to do. Now, if I press a sample, that's the last sample that I pressed, and then I go into the effects chain, that will be the effects chain for that particular kick. Now, you would think that if I then hit a different sample, it would change to that chain, that effects chain. It doesn't. And I just don't understand, because it seems like the most logical thing to do, and it would make it so much easier for you if you were flicking through multiple samples and you just needed to change a little bit of EQ on each sample. But what you actually in effect have to do is make sure that sample's selected. Now I can work on that sample. Come out to the main screen, make sure that sample's selected, go into there, and now I can work on that one. That just seems really, unnecessarily confusing, or more clicks than you need to do. I don't understand why it doesn't just change. It just seems super, super easy to me. Anyway, that aside, that's the drums for you. So you've got all the heavy lifting's done. It's in my MPC template as well. So you've got the drum buses separated, etc. If I just go into there quickly, let's go into your drum bus. You can see the different buses here. So with the drum bus here, you can see the effects. There's effects for all the buses there, actually. And then also you have the effects on the, you've got your effects set up for send effects, and you've got your master out set up. So it's basically my MPC template. So let's make a quick house beat, and then we'll go on to make a quick boom bap beat. I won't do a lot of talking with this. We'll just get into it, and I'll just show you what you can do with the sounds, basically. Don't know why I've gone down that route here. That's kind of more a late 90s Kenny Dope style beat. Bit of an afro element in there, but I like it. Just as soon as I heard that snare drum, I just immediately thought, yeah, I want to do that kind of afro sound. Take the metronome off now. Let's just see what swing settings I've got on here. 63. So I've used quite a lot of Kenny Dope techniques in that drum beat, to be honest. That's a classic Kenny Dope move. But I would say it's probably more later 90s. Somebody asked me the other day, why do I do this tapping thing when I make a drum beat? It just helps me keep time. I like to kind of write things in live, and it just helps me keep time, because I'm a drummer, because I started off as a drummer when I was a kid. It's just my hi-hat going, basically. Instead of going in my head, I've just got it going like that on my finger. So that's why I do that. Okay, moving on in this absolutely sweltering heat. It's 50 degrees C outside, by the way. Summer is definitely here in Dubai. We're going to move on to a Boom Bap beat. Now, with Boom Bap, obviously, the beats tend to be a lot more simple than that house beat was, for instance. And rather than just do a simple boom cat beat, I've got a little sample in the background, and then I'm going to build the beat over the top of the sample. So just a little bit of a loop going on. Okay, what I might do there, actually, slow it down, give it a bit more character. So just using 16 levels there, just to bring, it saves me messing around with the knob and the mixer, basically. I'm going to go for that one, but again, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Give it a bit of character. When I'm building beats over the top of samples, sometimes, I rather than building the beat first and then putting the loop over the top, I have the loop first. I'll build the beat around what the sample's doing, and I just felt like that little extra kick that I just put in there kind of needed to be there. So you might not actually even hear it in the mix, but it just kind of boosts the sample. So there you have it, Craig's Motel kit number 4, available today on Bandcamp for 2 of your earth pounds. Can't get better than that. The MPC project will obviously work in the newer MPCs, but it won't work in the MPC sample because of the effects and stuff in there. But you have a folder full of WAVs which you can just easily download or add to your MPC sample. So you can still use it in the MPC sample, and the WAVs folder can be used on every other sampler as well. They're 16-bit, 44.1. I've done it like that so that they're compatible with everything, basically. The way that Bandcamp does sample packs, you have to have like a separate link. You can download each individual samples, but it's a real ball ache to do it. So the way that I do it, and a lot of other people do it, is when you download the pack after you've paid your £2 or more if you want, there will be a PDF file. Open the PDF file, and in there'll be a link. Double click on that, and then you'll be able to download your kit. The reason why I'm saying this is because every single time I release a sample pack, somebody says, at least one person says, where are my sounds? I downloaded it, there's no sounds in there. So check the PDF link and check the PDF and your link will be in the PDF. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. This is the Craig's Motel. My name's Conan, I'm the concierge. Till next time.
Concierge.